In the early 1950s, there was a half-hour radio program entitled Three Poets. One was Edith Sitwell, the second was Eric Gill, the third poem was one which I wrote the day after one of the worst air raids on London. It was called London, October the 3rd, 1940. I'll read it to you now. A mighty city trembled in its heart as one by one its buildings tumbled down. Ah, Wordsworth, what would you say now were you to see the ruins of this town? Perhaps, like me, you'd read the bitter tale writ underneath these sad and crumbling walls of people who have lived and loved and dreamed, then vanished ere those dreams had been fulfilled. Eyes that like yours have watched the flowing Thames, and faces that have smiled with self-content. Yes, still they smile, though homeless and unslept, and breathe a grateful prayer that still they live. Aye, Wordsworth, people pray in London now, for where death comes, God knows and sees and cares. Death's chilling breath hangs nightly overhead amid the thunder of 1,000 guns, a breathless hush, and then death's finger points unerring claim upon a home condemned, then waits a while before it stabs again, and passes on while people sob and moan. Within those homes once lived the friends I knew, and once their laughter echoed in their rooms. Now all is silent. Slowly fall the clouds of brick dust where the alcove used to be. A book lies idly by a tattered gown. The story of a life abruptly ends. And I could tell of countless lives that gave a promise of far better days ahead, of eyes that gaze into another's face and set the heart a-flutter with their light, of thoughts of love that shaped 1,000 dreams, of minds that plans a future full of hope. And as I make my way among the stones, 1,000 stories clamour in my ears, of wounds in many hearts that cannot heal, and eyes that gaze out through a mist of tears. Some loved and died together, hand in hand, and some have loved and left a lonely heart. And there are some who should have dearly loved, but left too late the word that could have brought an hour of joy within the anxious days. The stars shine down upon a ruined street. The moonlight shows the gaps among the walls. Somewhere among those wrecks there faintly beats unsteadily the hearts of those who seek protection from the awful touch of death. And with their problems pressing on them still, they battle on and on from day to day. And some there are whose hearts will ache no more, for now refreshing sleep has closed their eyes, till God has set each soul upon its course. "2,000 years, and then this broken cup was found at Athens in a ruined house. We picked it up, elated at our find, and marvelled that it bore its years so well. To us it was a cup of clay, no more. For us it bore no tale of long ago. In fun I raised the broken goblet up to show her how the Greeks had drunk of yore. The moment that the goblet touched my lips, I knew without a doubt her love was true. Her hand was on my arm, and in her eyes a look of deep anxiety there grew. Don't, she cried, and as she said the words, the story of the past came back to me. I knew that we had lived it all before. The look, the touch, the words were all the same. What now? I laughed as I surveyed her face. The poison surely doesn't linger still. But as I spoke, I knew without a doubt that she recalled the awful moment too. Fair Athens of the gods, I knew thee well. The sunshine glistened on thy marble walls. I loved to walk thy streets by night, or pluck the blossoms from thy shady groves. How cool the evening was when first I saw fair Helena beside the garden pool. The fountain splashed and glittered in the moon as she bent down and gazed into the depths. And as I watched, she sighed and turned away and vanished in the shadows of the halls. Then came the day when first I heard her voice, a word of thanks as I retrieved the flower that she had dropped upon the spacious lawns, and begged that I might speak with her again. Then day by day we met beside the pool, and wandered through the blossoms in the grove. Alas, too soon the dream of love was o'er, and I stood in the garden all alone. I waited by the waters of the pool. I searched among the blossoms of the grove. The echo of my voice was all I heard, and music of the fountain of the pool. I stood upon the roof at eventide, and saw all Athens stretch beneath my feet. Farewell, fair city and sweet Helena, I cried, and sadly gazed upon beloved scenes. So she was pledged to wed a man of Rome. Then surely there could be no other course for me to take than end it thus and now, and so I raised the goblet to my lips. I heard a hurried step, a startled cry, and Helena stood anxious by my side. Her hand was on my arm, her lovely face was gazing up to mine imploringly. Don't, she cried, and in her eyes I saw the teardrops start upon their course. Too late, I gasped, and flung the goblet down. The last I knew, the day was growing dim. Fair Athens holds no more its ancient charm, nor would I care if not a stone remained to hold a memory of a tragic tale. 2,000 years, and we had met again.